today we're about 70+% of our portfolio companies have either product in market or product under development. And by the end of the year, 100% of our companies will have some Gen AI enabled product in market or Gen AI enabled product in development that we're going to look to deliver and deliver to our customer set and if not today, then over 2025. So that's one category. The other category is utilizing these call it code assist, code generation capabilities to make our programmers more efficient and our code development more efficient. I'll give you a couple of use cases in a second. What that enables us to do is manage one of the biggest challenges that we've always had in enterprise software is a lack of developers or lack of enough developers. You know, you stated we have 100,000+ employees worldwide. We seem to always have 5,000-10,000 open recs for developers. And so if you actually apply these Gen AI enabled code development tools, it actually reduces the number of open recs that you need and actually increases the productivity of individual developers. And just to give you real-time measurement of those employees, call it 60+% of them are developers. We are saying we now have deployed some Gen AI code assist over 100% of our portfolio companies. So we're testing this across all the companies. We're getting productivity between 10 and 40% per developer. Okay, so these developers developing different rates and capabilities and proficiency. But that's sort of productivity we're seeing today as we speak here across our portfolio companies. And so from that instance, we're saying, listen, we can now think about, as you now take these instances and examples and drive them into systemic infrastructure, can you capture that sort of productivity at those levels to develop new products or to reduce the cost of support and maintaining existing products? So those are the two categories that we are focused on. And then, of course, at the Vista level, within Vista, we're utilizing Gen AI tools to enhance our investing capabilities, which do everything from evaluating what companies are out there, what sort of best practices have been effective at what levels, and then things like how do we utilize it to be more effective at doing everything from analyzing the current state of existing businesses or in the due diligence phases. So we're building out specific modules there that are Gen AI enabled, inference related, or inference enabled that we can now utilize in our own, call it, sandbox of data for with now 20+ years of operating in this space.
But Robert, then I have a follow-on question because following your line of reasoning, would you underline the following thesis that more and more these large language models become a commodity and only exclusive access to data, at least in the B2B world, will be the differentiator?
I have a sense that there will likely be, and this is just, again, my sense from what I'm seeing out there, a half a dozen of these large language models that will survive. Broad scale, call it, in some cases, $1 trillion market cap opportunities. And I believe the vast majority of those will be really applied in the consumer space.
Yeah.
I believe that we will have, smaller models that are going to be utilized in specific, in some cases, companies for very narrow industries or broader business industries that they might be used across an industry as opposed to a general model applied into an industry. So I think what you'll see is, there will likely be, my opinion, an overbuild of capacity initially, like all exciting, gold rushes, right? That capacity will likely, manifest itself first of all in things like, GPU data centers. I think there'll be another wave where you'll see massive amounts of value for the infrastructure providers for that evaluation, and then people are going to realize, you know what, I actually don't need, in certain cases, this level of GPU capacity to operate in this specific industry. If I've got, the data and the use cases defined in ways that I don't need that level of compute capacity. And so then there will then start to be, smaller segments, small being still could be very large, that are utilizing very specific data sets and inference models to handle specific problems in an industry that will become call it create massive productivity and utility in that industry.